How's that? Is that better? Can you guys hear me? Sorry about that. This is what happens when you reset everything and start with a clean page. How's everyone doing? Let's see. So Elizabeth is here and welcome. Dawn, hello. Rita, I love the HB90 method and goes nicely with Tracy's planning sessions too. I handwrite it in the same spiral notebook now. I like that idea of keeping it all together. Yeah, it would have helped if I added a mic into the setup. I was too busy with all the visuals. Let's see. Lori is here. Hello, hello. I just printed my HB90 sheets for next week. Now I need to cut them down to A5 size. Nice. Let's see. Do I have everybody? I think I got everybody. Jocelyn, hello, welcome. Let's see. It was, like I said, worse than being muted. I literally didn't add the mic in there. That's kind of an important part, isn't it? Let's see. Oh no. Helena? Oops. Now I'm tripping on my words. Yes, now we hear you. Perfect. Are those cat ears? They are. I'm a little kitty. Let's see. Rita, now I just need to figure out a way to keep the monthly from your okay, yes. Keep them sort of little tabs would work too, right? Make a little use your washi tape. Make a little tab between the HB90 pages and the monthly so you can find it with ease. Okay, guys. Well, welcome to Plan Your Epic Story with me. All revamped and updated. So for anyone that is new, this is my monthly system. It is a monthly planning system. It focuses on what you want to achieve in a month. Has you reflect on where you are starting from and the destination you have in mind, steps you through breaking those goals down, defines the active steps you will take, and creates a week-by-week strategic plan for the month ahead. Hey, Laura. This is the template. It is a 4-page template. It is free. It is in the description for this video, so you can just download that and either print it out or use it digitally in something like GoodNotes. So we begin with the ordinary world. It's going to take us 10 plus minutes to figure out this information. This is all about the distractions and obligations. And your ingredients are, picture this, major conflicts, important dates, important tasks, and at a glance. The preparation here is you're going to be honest with yourself. You're going to check in with your values. You're going to prioritize, and you're going to reflect. Laura, I am an absolute pantser who gets very overwhelmed trying to plan. Hopefully this will break it down and be friendly for you. This is also pre-planning, guys. Like, I think a lot of us, we try to, at least previously, just dive into our planners, and then things would get missed because there's no prompts, there's nothing reminding you other than the date on the page, and then we forget things. We don't want to do that. So page 1 of the template, this is all about the ordinary world, all those things that we value, otherwise we wouldn't be doing them. But at the same time, they do eat up time, right? So picture this is going to take us a couple minutes, and it's just considering the dream. What is it? What is our ultimate goal? What are we heading toward? It is a brief vision of the future you want to create for yourself and those you love. So I need you to close your eyes. You are the protagonist of your own story. You stand in a place of discontent, longing for something. Close your eyes. What world do you see? What are you doing? Who is beside you? What do you feel? What do you value? And what matters to you? What does this look like? There's some inspiration images here of a nice car, traveling the world, setting up a space in which to work that feels good to you and has the style that you want and like. It has someone who's climbed a mountain and is looking over at the the view, the amazing view that they have from this vantage point. These are about climbing mountains and figuring out what it is that really matters to us and the direction we want to take our lives. Okay, guys, so on this one you have a small little section here called Picture This with a few stars. We're just going to take a couple quick minutes and we are going to journal out what it is that we see for ourselves. This can be this can be far in the future, 5-10 years, or this can be just for this quarter. Whatever the vision is that you see for yourself. We're just looking forward and envisioning what we're aiming for. And begin. So what do you see? What does that vision look like for you? I am standing holding my new book and seeing it in the top 10 of my genre and having the community around me loving it and enjoying it and enjoying the delightful comedic moments that I was able to create on the page. What did you guys come up with? Let's see. Elizabeth, I am going back to work with reduced hours and shifts on Saturday. I am happy that back injury recovery is going well thus far. That's good to hear. I envision myself learning a lot more things this semester, passing these classes, and then being in the nearby university next semester after the semester of community college. Perfect. I like that they're close together. That works. Guys, while you guys fill that in, we're going to move on to our next topic, which is major conflicts. Let's see. Elizabeth, I also see myself having a better handle on stress management. Oh, yes, definitely. That is something we all could use more of. Lori, I will be going to Florida with my daughter Jocelyn on November 5th and making new memories. I see myself getting my newest Christmas novella published on November 25th and getting an orange flag banner. Love that. Laura, I envision a completed draft in Scrivener with the new POV chapters I'll be writing during the rough draft challenge. I envision completing the semester with flying colors. Ooh, beautiful. Love those. Rita finished drafting book 1, proof copy for Lear, and ready for self-published next year. Ooh, beautiful, beautiful. And Laura, great plan, Laura. I agree. Okay, guys, major conflicts. This is also going to take us a couple minutes. And this is a break in routine. This is usually planned events. more than a few days. They are routine wrecking. It's going to derail your routine as you prepare for whatever it is. And it is going to derail your routine as you're trying to get back into routine. And the goal here is protect your deadlines. We want to know what's coming at us so that we can actually schedule things in advance and get ahead of it, so that it does not destroy our deadlines and end up putting in a place where we may disappoint others. We'll be disappoint ourselves for sure. And who knows, it might be a financial penalty or a penalty that may delay future things we want to work on. We don't want that. Let's see. Helena, I want to find a day job, move out, live alone again, and publish my trilogy. Sweet, I like that. Dawn, publishing book 2. Nice. All right, guys. So what strategies can you implement to reduce the chaos and protect your objectives? Think about, what does this affect? What adjustments must be made to prevent chaos and or burnout? Because sometimes we don't realize how much time we think we're going to work up to the minute before we leave. That's not going to happen. There's planning, there's confirming, there's paperwork to be done. Things are going to be chaotic, right? So these are like things like vacations and major holidays. We have Christmas coming up. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I take about a good probably 6 to 10 hours decorating my house for Christmas. And it's something I do every year, and I say I'm not going to do it. Guess who does it, right? Every year. These are things that are going to mess us up in terms of what we see as our normal time routines. So let's see. I'm going to go back to this one here for a second. You have like travel. Maybe it's not even a vacation. You just simply have to travel. Well, that can eat up a day or two, correct? There's surgeries. What you have to prepare for the surgery. You're going to be out of commission during the surgery, and your recovery takes time. Conferences. Nobody tells you this. When you go to a conference, there's all the prep time and the excitement beforehand. There's all the time you spend at the conference, and then your brain is like, if it's a good conference, your brain is so full of new information that you are locked in processing mode. And you can't just dive back into your routine because your brain is locked down with all this new information. It's amazing, but at the same time, very few people actually prepare for this. There's moving, there's renovations. These things are going to interrupt your environment as well. Hey, Jess, just coming in to say hi since I caught you actually live. I couldn't hear. That's okay. I had nothing wrong with that. Oh, thank you, my little ears. So guys, how are you going to get ahead of this? Or do you need to alter the plan to give yourself the time you need for this break? Is something going to need to be moved? Like, we're going to be honest with ourselves and we're going to make things work. So let's get that 2-minute timer up. Let's name what the thing is that's coming at us. It can be something in November. It can be something in December. If it's something more major, maybe January. We want to get ahead of this. We want to know what's coming. So list that out and go. Okay, what did you guys come up with? Lori, oh my God. This is the month that I'm publishing a book, yet I'm going on vacation to Florida for 5 days, attending 2 vendor craft fairs, going to a scrapbooking event all day, and then there's Thanksgiving. Whew, hon, I guess I'll be getting very little sleep. I agree with that assessment. Are there any little helpers in your life that could assist in any of this? Any kind of strategies you could implement to get ahead of this? Food prep maybe in advance of Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving is a little more possible. The vendor and craft fairs, are there anything you can start prepping now? That way you can have them ready and you don't have to be doing it last minute. As for how about the dates of your vacation versus when you're hitting published? Is there any overlap or conflict there? Elizabeth, I have been struggling with my mental health, so that is a major conflict for me, but looking at the bigger picture of things is really helping me right now. Nice. This is what I need to do instead of just looking at my short-term stress. Yes, yes. Lori, I've decided I need to plan almost to the minute in order to get everything done, but I tend to do best when I'm on a time limit. Weird, I know. A lot of us do that. It's not, it's not great for our overall health, but you can do it on the short term. Just don't make it regular. That's how burnout happens. Let's see, Jess. Next 2 weeks are going to be crazy. My aunt's here for 3 days this week and 2 days next week. My mom's birthday is Tuesday, and that's also the day I have to deal with some chaos. My ex goes, oh, hon. Well, I'm happy you have some happy things in there, and hopefully the chaos part will be manageable. Use your journaling, use your family, use your supports that you have to protect yourself and to keep yourself sane during this. Let's see. Jess, Grandpa comes home the week of Thanksgiving too, which is a good thing. I love that. I just got off a video chat with him actually right before I came in here. Nice. Lori, my husband will do food prep, laundry, cleaning, that sort of thing. Yes, I'm prepping now and have already started packing for my trip. My published date is the 25th, near the end of the month, which helps, I think. Yes, yes. Jess, I feel you on the mental health, Elizabeth. Oh, yeah. Rita, pretty normal for me, besides 1 full day babysitting, but near the end of the month, lots of family time this month and next. Grandbaby's first Halloween. Oh, what's the theme? And they'll be here. And birthdays, love that. And Helena, I have medical appointments and professional ones, plus 3-day at my brother's house. Nice. Jess, I don't have to actually attend the court stuff, and hopefully I won't see my ex again for a long time after this. That sounds better. Okay, guys. Our next one we're going to look at is pretty standard. This is your important dates. Another 2+ minutes for this one, and this is all about those commitments that we have agreed to. These are scheduled. They matter. They reflect our values. And the goal is nothing is missed. Nothing is missed. This one we're talking about events, birthdays, appointments, commitments. You want to note your travel time, your action steps, your prep, your paperwork, and your confirmation process. I have a weird one coming up. It's actually not till March of next year, which is the crazy part. And the confirmation process is we contact them a week or two before the appointment. How crazy is that? So I have a reminder on my phone for March for an appointment that is just insane. I mean, I've never had to deal with something like this before. So, but I've got it noted because that's what they said they needed. And it was something that got written down into my Google Calendar, because by the time March rolls around, any post-it that I would write would be lost. Oh, and we have my niece next weekend. Oh, cool. Okay, guys, so this one is under your important dates section. The first part is to just name what it is. You have the date, you have a start time and end time, and you have a little space there to write out any details. Okay, guys, let's get our 2-minute timer up and go. For this one, I do often use my Google Calendar. That's where I put a lot of my long range long range events and stuff. But also sometimes I have to check my paper planner to make sure it doesn't get written down in there too. And go. Okay, what did you come up with? Let's see. Elizabeth, Saturday, November 2nd is an important date for me since that's the day I'll be back at my part-time job. Speaking of November 2nd, guys, that will be our double down day as well. And the other writing days. And of course, the rough draft challenge starts on November 1st. Let's see, Elizabeth, I also have a chemistry exam on Friday. Sweet. Jess, I wrote down all those dates I mentioned. Yes, I agree. If I never saw my ex again, that would be fantastic. He's so unpleasant to deal with. Hear you on that one, huh? All right, guys. Important tasks. This is 2+ minutes. This is home life projects. This is about your environment, your family. These are personal goals. These are things you want to do for yourself, for your environment, to make things better. And the goal is just to make progress. So if it's decluttering, what rooms do you want to declutter? What spaces do you want to declutter? You can even get more specific. It can be closet A, B, and C, whatever you feel like, right? If it's can be house projects. Maybe you have purchased something, new furniture that you need to assemble, or you mean to purchase furniture for a room and assemble it. There's deep cleaning as we prep for the holidays. Maybe we want to get our houses ready for family visits. There's those big bills that sometimes come along. Anything that you need to prepare for, any tax prep or filings that you need to get done, special outings or activities with the family that you need to schedule, and perhaps buy tickets for. Exercise plan. Does it need a little bit of an update, a little bit of something new to keep it exciting and interesting? Do you have any savings plans for a future purchase? What improvements do you want to make to you, your relationships, or your environment? That's really what this one is asking. Let's see, Rita, a couple of doctor's appointments, double down day of birthdays, and rough draft challenge. Nice. Lori, my important dates are what I mentioned above, Florida trip, 5th to 9th. Vendor fairs, 2nd and 23rd, and scrapbooking event is 16th. Oh, and publishing my book, 25th. Laugh loud. How did I forget that? You got a heavy month, girl. This is going to be interesting. And you got to get Thanksgiving down there, too. These are all important dates. These all reflect your values. So you want to make sure that they happen and nothing derails that, right? So think about your time. Often we do have spare time that we use for, just sitting and watching TV and stuff like that, scrolling on our phones. Some of it may have to be used in advance to make sure that you are set up for success, hon. Let's see, Jess Lori, don't forget Grounded Chaos tonight. Elizabeth, I have a goal of getting better at studying. What time, Jess? Oh, 10? Okay. Okay, guys. So what important tasks do you have planned for yourself? Things you might want to work on that you've been thinking about. And go. Last week. So, get to the 12th, 19th. Okay, guys, I have down the 28th for the American Thanksgiving. I say that because we just had ours in Canada. So the 28th, so if you don't have the date, that's what it says it is. So you can get ahead of that. Okay, guys, I added a few things here. I have to be honest with myself. I probably have a little more on this list than I can do. So I'm going to probably end up having to take a second pass at that particular section and prioritize probably 3 of them. Because if I'm being honest, I don't think I can do all of them. Some of them are very short. Some of the things are just decision based and then just make a reservation or whatever. But a lot of them actually needs a little, they'll need some time. Alright, guys. Our next part is at a glance. This is all about availability. These are your days off. These are setting aside some days from the month for sick days, mental health days. And this is about being realistic. The goal is you do not have 30 days. There are things that are going to be happening that are going to take away some of those days. The simple fact is if you don't take health days, you'll end up having them as sick days. So do try to schedule in some health days so you can do either a reduced workload or have some actual true days off. So that you're serving your body and your mind and your spirit and having those breaks that you need, right? Let's see. Lori, OMG, I just wrote down all my tasks and I'm tired looking at this list. Holy smokes. Top threes, top threes. What can you live without? What can come off that list? Can you delegate it to somebody else? Who's a helper that you can say, let's either share in this so you can divide the amount of work that has to get done, or you can, or they can maybe take on this little sub project and help you out. The goal here, though, is the reality, guys, that you do not have 30 days. None of us do. There are things that are going to either come up that we don't plan, like sick days, or we can plan them and make room in our schedule so that we know and we can see it coming. And if we don't need it, it all becomes bonus time, guys, right? Let's see. Jess, yes, Thanksgiving is my cousin's birthday this year. Sweet. Happy birthday to the cousin. I have days off the week of Thanksgiving with Grandpa comes back. And my niece's birthday is the day after Thanksgiving this year. She turns 6. I've never seen a picture of this child, but I feel like I'm seeing her grow up. She's becoming a little lady, right? Okay, guys. So on this one, we're going to use that little at a glance calendar, and we're going to circle and slash and do whatever you need. I like to circle important days. So I have a circle around Double Down Day for the 2nd because I want to make sure that I see that coming and I'm prepared for it. I have some personal birthdays and stuff to celebrate this month, and anniversaries and things that I want to make sure that I'm aware of so I can schedule those in. And then I have my regular life task days that always seem to end up on Wednesdays, which I guess is a good thing because I know then when it's going to happen, that I can schedule and work with. Okay, guys, so let's take our timer here and just have a quick overview. And I actually even started to write in a little more of December because I am wanting to be very aware of what is coming so I can make some reservations for my birthday and stuff, because I don't know if you guys have any December birthdays in your life. Going to restaurants becomes challenging. So I tend to take some reservations so I can actually go to something special on my birthday. Okay, guys, and begin. There's an appointment. This has an appointment. Okay. Well, looking at that, I have a weekend that I potentially will not be streaming, and that would normally be the weekend that I do our monthly planning. So our monthly planning will probably be a week early this month, probably more around the 17th, just for a heads up on that. That's going to be a little bit different. And if I'm being honest with myself, because there's some days where I have appointments, They shouldn't take up the entire day, but once I'm out, I tend to go and get things done, calling it efficiency. So getting back to my desk may or may not happen. So I really only have about 22 days to work in November. So I'm going to have to keep that in mind, especially with our rough draft challenge. What does that look like, right? I will probably still try to fit in some writing, but there's not going to be any large numbers happening there. Those might become the kind of days where if I get 250 words, I'm going to call it a success. Let's see, Jess, I have 7 days off, but I probably won't use all 7 days. Hey, if you don't use them, bonus, right? Lori, I have about 10 full days and maybe 12 half days, and I think I'm being generous, Jake said. It's okay, hon. It's okay. Let's see, Jess. Yes, I'll have to share a picture somehow, but I have to be careful how to do it. Yes. A few of the admin I'm friends with on Facebook have seen a few in DMs, but I don't post her on my page except for the friends and family only page I have. Yeah, and that makes sense. That's a safety thing, totally and completely, right? Okay, guys, we are going to... This is one thing I want you guys to consider as we leave the ordinary world and step into the special world. Page 1 should give you a good overview of how busy the month ahead will be and how the decisions you made will affect the time you have for your goals and objectives. Everything on page 1 of the template will affect the time you have for the next part of the plan. But the first step is to this plan is to be honest about the time you really have. So if all those things on there are important to you, that matters, right? And we don't want to, and it is a true representation of the time that we have, and that's okay. If everything on page 1 is important to you and it reflects your values, it belongs there, and it's really that simple, right? Let's see, Lori, my calendar is colorful. Laugh aloud. I have colors for so many important dates. Yes, and you have a nice overview now, so you know what's coming at you, right? Okay, guys, so let's enter the special world. This is defining our goals and objectives. The ingredients are going to be goals, the destination, the starting point, and the journey. Again, with preparation, we want to be honest. We want to check in with our values. Does this move you forward? These are the goals that we want to be doing. These are the objectives we want to be using. Does it move us forward to our more important dreams? You need to prioritize. Can't do it all, guys. We do not have 30 days, right? And then you want to reflect and adjust. So the template we're going to use page 2 and 3 of the template for this one. They look very, very similar because they are, and they simply just have goals 1 through 6. You have the number that you have. You do not have to have 6. You can have 1. It is all up to you. Let's see. So your goals. You have up to 6 goal areas. You have the must otherwise statement. You have reality. We're going to check in and make sure that we're making good decisions here. And you're also going to, this goal, the goal of this is to provide motivation. This is to remind us why we're doing it, why the bigger picture comes into play here for this, okay? This is our big why when we're working towards our dreams. So the I must statement. So you have your 6 goal areas for the month, 1 to 6, I should say. And I literally just scrolled mine out very quickly. Health is my number 1 goal. Writing is my second one. My editing and coaching is third. Then I have my channel that you guys are on right now. Driving. We're running out of time for good weather. It's getting colder, and I don't know if I'm ready to drive in snow, so I want to up my practice as much as I can, and maybe just go sit my butt in the place, and even though I can't get an actual scheduled appointment, it one where someone doesn't show up. That way I have it before winter hits. If not, I'll have to probably do it after winter. And then I have my self-care stuff. I made this not my 6th goal because I find otherwise I don't do it and I don't prioritize it. And that means I'm not prioritizing my overall health and well-being because that is sort of part of that. So I have health at the beginning and self-care at the end, and to basically make a nice little bundle. Let's see, Jess, I'm bad about saying, oh, I have 2 weeks to do this, when in fact, no, Jess, you don't, because you have 5 other things to do. So you have 4 days left. Yes, exactly. So the statement we use is, I must, you name the goal. Otherwise, what's at stake? I use the example here of, I must make healthy choices. Otherwise, I won't have the energy and focus to accomplish my other goals. These are bigger picture, guys. This is the types of things that leave us, that put us where we want to be. I want to feel healthier. I want to have more energy, and I want to be more focused. That's my end goal in terms of my health. Okay, so we're going to break it down. I must. What is it you want to achieve this month? Be specific. This goal is tied to that bigger picture and may include multiple steps. For example, I must finish the first draft of book 1. This is not something that is a single task. This is not going to take a single day. This is going to take a minimum of 30 days, right? So let's be honest with ourselves. So what project or piece of a bigger project do you want to see completed? Why? How does this move you forward? What does success look like for this goal to be considered complete? What do you need to check off to say that this is successfully done? Do you need to have 90K written? Or will 50K do? How skeletal is this first draft going to be? Are you going to start with the ending and then write the beginning? Are you going to think about these strategies you want to do, right? Okay, guys, so you are not going to be able to get through all 6 of these with the 2-minute timer. What we're doing here is going through the system. You may get 1 or 2 of them done, and then at the end you'll replay the video and go through the steps to finish out the other goals. But otherwise, I would have you here for 3 hours, and that's not something you guys want to do. It shouldn't be 3 hours, but face it, if you're learning something, it does take a bit of time, right? Okay, guys, so 2 minutes. What is your must statement for your goal number 1 and maybe your goal number 2? And go. Okay. What did you guys come up with? The health one I kept very much similar to the one I used in the example. I must protect my health and make better choices, otherwise I won't have the energy and focus I need for all areas of my life. I have to take care of this in order to be able to do all the things I want to do. I got my writing one done. I must complete the draft of Project Love, otherwise I won't know what it feels like to hold my book baby. I love this story. It's playful, it's silly, it's fun, and I really want to see this one written and published because it just makes me smile when I think about it, and I want to be able to hold that book and love that book and share it. Let's see. Just laugh aloud. Yeah, normally I'd say 3 hours with you is fine, but I should probably get dinner at some point in the next hour. Exactly. We're trying to keep this organized and under control. Do you guys have any questions? Did you have anything that didn't feel right? I realized I actually skipped a step here because we went right into the next. Ignore me, guys. Each one of my goals has to do with all my important dates. I'm assuming that's okay to do that way. That's perfectly fine. If that actually you have multiple different areas going on there, that makes sense to me. All right, guys, I missed this part. I'm so sorry. Otherwise, let's break it down a little further. If you fail to achieve this goal, what will you lose? I know I should not have jumped ahead. I'll put another 2-minute timer up. I'm sorry. Example, I must finish the first draft of book 1. Otherwise, I will never know what it feels like to finish writing a book. For many of us, we have all sorts. Some people are published, some are not. And holding that first book is a special, special moment. And so for all my writing friends, I hope that you guys all experience that, right? Let's see. Lori, what does the destination, starting point, and the journey mean? We will get there. All right, guys. This can be anywhere. What's at stake could be a delay, which is going to cost you time. It could be a missed opportunity, something that might not come around again, or you have to wait a long time for. It could be a financial loss. Maybe you've put money into something, and if you miss that deadline, then you're out. You're out that money that you put into it. It could be a penalty that affects your future goals. What's on the line? If there isn't anything, create a reward that you can have only if you succeed to build that motivation. All right, guys, let's get our 2-minute timer up. And if you only got the first part with the goal, I'm sorry. This is what happens when you revamp everything. You can tweak these a little bit and make them a little stronger and a little more what you were hoping for. And go. I hope that made that easier. I did not mean to jump ahead there. I had in the previous version, I had more little markers and stuff for myself when I had linked slides. So I only have to put some of this back in there. Let's see, Jess, I need to get back into my draft in November. I had to take a break for mental health to deal with my ex. And that's important. You had to deal with it, hon. Elizabeth, if I fail my classes this semester, I will have to pay to take them next semester and be in college another semester, which is not ideal. I will pass my classes. Exactly. I love how you worded that. Jess, I just decided to take Saturday as an off day because of my niece and make Sunday a half day because she leaves that day. That works. And you get to enjoy her being there, which is part of your values. Okay, guys, we're going to dive on in and answer the first part of Lori's question, the destination. Where do you land? This is day 30. This is of November, and the month has flown by. This is all about what you've achieved and experienced. We're going to figure out our deadline success equation. Yes, that's new. And we're looking for progress. And the goal is to have a defined outcome so we know for sure whether or not we achieved this. We have a concrete, detailed thing that is going to say whether it is a yes or a no. And if we don't succeed, we at least will be able to take a measurement of how much we accomplished. Let's see. Lori, doing the otherwise does help. It shows what the consequences can be. Exactly. Yes. I have to change my timer on this thing. Keep closing. Yes, it's the consequences. What are we going to lose out on, right? We want to make sure that we're always working towards something that is going to move us forward and give us and move us toward our dreams, right? Let's see. And when we fail, we mostly fail ourselves often, right? And I don't know about you guys, if it seems like I'm doing something for someone else, oh, for sure, that's going to happen. I can't let someone else be upset. I can't have anyone else be disappointed. But myself, oh, that's just me, right? We don't want to do that anymore. Important, right? We want to be important to ourselves. Rita, my main goal is to draft 50K for Maple River and hoping to finish it by the end of November. Health and self-care to avoid burnout. Beautifully said. Jess, usually I say I'll work after she goes to bed, but if I'm being honest, I'm too tired then, and I never do it. Sunday, I can usually do a little work because she leaves mid-afternoon, and it's the timing of things, right? Okay, guys, so let's define that outcome of what we want. Rita, Jess, I'm the same way when I babysit the 4 siblings all day. I'm exhausted after they leave. Yeah, I love kids. I have kids. They're not really kids anymore, but I have kids. They are chaos demons, and you are an exhausted mess usually by the time they leave. Mine are not even that anymore, and still when we're busy doing stuff with them, they don't do things the way that we do things. That is become abundantly clear to me. As a mom, you spend so much time trying to get ahead of the chaos you know they're going to create. Or as an auntie, right? Okay, guys. So, deadline success equation. You're going to write down what your objective is by what is the date you want to have this completed by in order to meet a future deadline. The examples are, I will complete the first draft of Project North by November 30th in order to meet my first pass edits deadline of December 30th. Or, I will complete the third pass of revision on Project Love by November 30th in order to meet my deadline of sending my revised draft to my editor by December 15th. So for this one, I have to have something already scheduled with that editor. If I miss that date, then that editor may not be able to take me, and I may have to wait 6 months. Who knows, right? Or I might have to hire someone else that I'm not as comfortable with, or whatever whatever may happen, right? Let's see. Elizabeth, I have been thinking about the possibility of teaching abroad when I finish my bachelor. Ooh, nice. When I finish my bachelor's degree and STEM teaching minor, I have assignment deadlines, and I'm going to study a lot this week for my chemistry exam. Nice. Okay, guys. So let's break this down. The I will. This is your objectives. This is define the objective. Use stages, word count, scene count, story goals, whatever works for you. Example, I will complete the first draft of Project North, aiming for 90K. Secondary example, I will draft a working outline for Project North and complete the first draft of Act 1 of Project North, breaking it down even more. If you don't have a lot of time, smaller, little specific goals will help. Let's see, Jess, absolutely, but at least she's a cute chaos demon. Exactly. That's how they get away with it. The second part is the date. This one's self-explanatory. When will you complete this? Make this an achievable goal that feels slightly uncomfortable. We want to push ourselves a little. Give ourselves that little sense of urgency. Example, November 30th means you intend to fast draft 90K. Is that too much? This is one of the things we want to consider. The amount of time you give yourself should reflect the amount of time you believe you have to work on this goal. And really consider, if you're doing something like 90K, yes, you can do that in a month. It is hard. I've done 100K in a month. It was a challenge, and I did it. But at the same time, I burnt myself out a little bit for December. I don't know if it was worth it. So should you give yourself 45 or 60 days instead and change that date? Be honest with the time you have. Be honest about the energy you have. Be honest about all the holidays and stuff coming at you. And remember all the little extra things that you will find yourself doing because of those seasons, right? Okay, guys. And then the next part is in order to meet that future deadline. This is where we connect our goal to the next step so we don't stay stuck in one place. We can brainstorm and plot forever and never feel like it is ready to write. Example, in order to meet my editor's deadline of January 15th of 2025. So in order to meet that editor's deadline, that means you got a fast draft and get that first draft done. You have to do that. First set of revision, you got to go through and then get that second draft written up. Third revisions before you are sending that off to your editor. And maybe you want to get beta readers in there too. So maybe even January 15th is going to be tight, right? So we want to be true and real about what we are trying to accomplish. Because this is where the magic's going to happen. Just like on a trip, if you take too long in one place, you might miss your next flight or boarding your cruise and then you're stuck. That excursion could cost you a lot more money than you had planned. Our goals are no different. We want to make sure that we're not messing up our future deadlines because we're procrastinating in this one, right? So this is where this is become all together. All right, guys. So I'm going to go back to this one here, so that you guys have the full statement, equation there to work from. Okay, guys, so I will, what's your objective, by the date, and in order to meet, what is that future deadline this connects to, that next step. That's something that's further down the line that you do not want to mess up. Okay, guys, let's get our 2-minute timer up and go. Okay, what did you guys come up with? How does this one feel? How does this statement feel? Being that one is more about the dream, and this one is more about those specific deadlines that we have set up for ourselves to ensure success. Let's see. Jess. Oh, hold on. Oh, yeah, my chaos demon kitten just jumped on my back with all claws. Ooh, that hurts when they do that. Ah, you were ignoring her. It's funny how they make sure we know, right? Let's see, Jess. I stretched when I wanted to finish the rough draft from December 31st to January 31st after all the chaos of life. Yes. It was a self-imposed deadline anyway, but that's okay. You also had stuff come at you that was not conducive to creativity. Burnout is not worth a deadline when I am literally the only one that knows or cares about it. Yes. And when you're doing that, make sure it's something that is still, you're still valuing yourself, but you're just being honest with yourself, right? Elizabeth, in order to meet my deadlines, I need to study enough hours and start assignments early enough to get them done before the deadline. By the end of the semester, I will have learned a lot. Plus, I will be prepared for university next semester. Nice. Lori, I like this breakdown, although I worded some of my goals differently, but it works. Yes, and as long as you're kind of getting the ideas down, that's what matters. We're looking at what, not getting stuck in one place, and also not messing something else up that we already have set up or that we are in the process of setting up. If you have your publication date being in March of 2025, you need to move these things forward. And it's not like you're going to write a book, edit a book, and send it out to the editor on March 1st when the book is being published, March 10th. You need the time to make sure all these things happen. Jesse, Grandpa being so sick in August and then my ex doing his nonsense was too much. I had to take a break or I was going to lose my mind. Right there. Let's see, Elizabeth, I want to journal once a day or once every other day for the rest of the year. I want to start that habit this week. Nice. Okay, guys, we're going to dive on into, oops, come on, open up. So the next part we're going to work with is the starting point. So I put up the crazy post-its because that tends to be how a lot of us have been in the past, or sometimes we'll fall back on old habits die hard. So this is where am I? This is day one. This is a reflection. This is taking stock. And this is the goal here is an honest evaluation of where you're starting from. Okay? Let's see, Lori, I will format my manuscript by November 21st in order to meet the publication date of 11/25. That works. Nina, I'll write Act 2 a bit faster during November to have more time for my future job in December and not be late with my January deadline for the end of the book one. Beautiful. Love that. Okay, guys. So, day one. We're just going to simply do this one a little more loose. You're going to use bullet points to list what you have achieved to date on the projects are moving you forward in this goal area. This is an opportunity to celebrate our achievements and to reflect on what needs more attention, because we know some things will have kind of gotten pushed aside. It happens, right? We just want to simply see where our projects are at. Sometimes they're new projects. We're starting from zero. And that is perfectly fine too, right? Not everything has to be underway. Otherwise, we would never grow and learn, right? If the project is not moving you forward toward the vision you have for this goal area, remove it. Don't work on things that are not going to work toward your values and they're not working toward the dream self that you want to see happen. If it's on your have-to list, well, treat it as such, make it systematic, and get it out of your way as soon as you can, right? Hopefully there isn't anything like that on within your goals and objectives. And And where are you? This is the bullet points. This example here has bullet points regarding a trilogy. So book 1 is set to publish December 1st of 2024. Book 2 is with the editor. Book 3 is at the brainstorming stage, partial outline. The story Bible is up to date, but there still needs to be kind of character profiles needed for the 3 new characters. And basically you're kind of seeing where you, okay, I have all my character profiles for all the characters that are in book 1 and 2, but I know book 3 is going to get these new 3 new people. I need to work on that, right? And start taking that inventory of where you're at, where things are standing in terms of how complete they are. And you know, you have book 3 being at the brainstorming stage and a partial outline means there's some work to do, right? But at least you know where you're starting from. Let's see, Elizabeth, I will journal once a day or once every other day for the rest of the year in order to improve my mental health. The last few years have gotten me a lot of stress. Yes. All right, guys. So let's just open up. This literally step is all about where you want to be, but also you have to know where you're starting in order to achieve that, right? Let's see. So let's take ourselves a 2-minute timer and just start getting those bullet points out of where you're starting from on these projects, and go. Okay, what did you guys come up with? Jess, I'm considering a new strategy for writing this rough draft. I'm thinking about drafting each POV separately and then piecing the chapters together in editing, but I'm not sure about it yet. It doesn't sound like a terrible idea because then you can follow through each thread, and I would work with maybe the main character first, and then the from most important to least important POV character, so that you can get the main story down, and then the parts that the others kind of pick up. That would help, I think. Elizabeth, 2018-24 had a lot of stressful events. I am still here and have beat the odds of what my circumstances have looked like. I am happy to say that this planning session has helped me to see that I need to stop being too focused on what my short-term stress is. You're welcome, hon. Elizabeth, I am planning on writing some poetry during the winter break between semesters. Oh, that's so beautiful. I love that. And so relaxing, too. All right, guys, we're going to dive on into the journey. This is your action steps. This is how we're going to get to that beautiful image that you set up for yourselves with that, deadline success equation. So this is step by step by step, progress on projects. And we're looking at portioning because we're going to start to realize very quickly that we cannot do it all with the time that we have. Which pieces are we going to prioritize and get done? And the goal here is strategies executed. We want to make these actionable steps so we get them done. Jess, I'm finding it difficult to shift while I write, so I think that might help. It's a complex story with intricate plot lines. And that too, right? Okay, guys. So, step by step by step, how will you make this happen? What steps need to be taken? The example would be having to have a complete outline, write the rough draft of book 3, continuing on with our previous there of book 3 being the one that needs to be drafted, and schedule editor for February 15th of 2025, so you have that concrete deadline to also work toward. Okay, guys, name the objectives that will move you forward. What steps are you going to take in order to get from the starting point where you are right now to where you want to be by November 30th? Okay, let's do a 2-minute timer up. And this is just bullet point, and we're going to keep it nice and loose and easy. And go. Okay, let's see. I must admit I didn't come up with this idea on my own. I saw it on a webinar Jessica Brody did when she was answering questions for Writing Mystery Academy members. She did it with one of her books. Well, that's okay. You're not going to write the same story as she does. It doesn't matter what the beginning premise is. Okay, guys. So let's dive into our next step. The week by week plan. This defines your projects, your tasks, and your deadlines. This is the main ingredient for this one is your itinerary. The preparation is to be honest, check your values. Is this achievable? You're going to have to do some prioritizing, reflect, and adjust. Your itinerary is the breakdown. This is all the hard work that we've been putting in here. This is how these are the pieces that we're going to work on. These are our action steps. So these are weekly objectives, measurable achievements, There's going to be time management involved, taking into account how much time we think we do believe we have, because we have that overview from page 1 that we can see how much time we really have to work, and the additional days that we wanted to put in there for sick days and for mental health days, which means, actually, to be honest, I probably should put a couple more days in there for, instead of doing the 22, make it 20. And that way, those 2 days, I can have those in a little bit extra in case I need them. And the goal is sustainable success. This is a plan that we can work and function with, and it's not going to burn us out. Okay, guys, we are going to use page 4 for the template for this. So, considering time. From page 1 of the template, you can see any days off or busy days that might affect how much you can achieve on a given week. Be honest with yourself and adjust as needed, because you are going to be able to now see where you're going to have maybe 2 or 3 days for that week, 5 days, 7 days, whatever it works out to. If you have a naturally built-in day off in there as well, make sure you're measuring that in. Okay, break it down. You have 5 weeks to make this happen. 5 weeks to work a sustainable plan that won't burn you out. 5 weeks to prove to yourself you can make real progress on your objectives. You can accomplish a lot in 5 weeks, guys. So let's talk strategy. This is a marathon, not a sprint. You want to start strong and end strong. You want to be consistent, plan to show up. That's one of the most important things about your protected time, is you are showing up for it. It is in your schedule, it's part of your plan, and it is important to you. Start with the end in mind and work backward. That is often easier to do. You're going to create measurable goals for each week, and you're going to break down the goals into weekly achievable steps. Okay, guys, so here's an example here. This is in action. This is fast drafting a novel. Week 1. So for this one, okay, we want week 5 means that the draft has to be done. So week 5 had to be drafting Act 3 at 10 scenes. The notes, this is for Project North, pre-order deadline, March 2025. So week 1 means we need our plot and we need to build our outline. In this example, we're going to use Save the Cat, which has 15 parts, 3 scenes each for setup, conflict, and resolution. So week 2 is going to be about drafting Act 1, 10 scenes there. Week 3 is about drafting Act 2A, and that's 13 scenes. And then for week 4, 2B, and 12 scenes. So it all fills itself back out. And that way it is something that is very doable and hopefully will not create burnout. You end up with a solid plan in week 1, and you get to execute it over the rest of the month. Let's see, where did I leave off? Rita, gotta run. I'll catch the rest on replay. Thanks, and see you all next time. Definitely. Thank you for hanging out with us on Elizabeth. Each week, I will assess how well I did with studying and see what adjustments need to be made. As this October flew by. Yeah, what was October? That was crazy, right? All right, guys. So, I am going to put us back onto this page. Actually, no, we'll leave it on this one. So let's dive in and get a 2-minute timer. You're not going to get tons done, but that's okay. We're here just to make sure that we work through the system, and then we can rinse and repeat. All right? Okay, guys, let's do 2 minutes and begin. Okay. Not entirely sure how I made that do that. I made my tablet do something different. Let's see, Elizabeth. In week 1 November, I will assess how I think I did on the second organic chemistry exam and see what I would need to get on the third exam for a grade. That works too, yes. All right, guys. We're coming to the end here. So our second and final part is a commitment. This is your new commitment statement. Preparation is be honest, prepare to succeed, show up, prioritize, and grow. Let's see. Lori, this week I have to finish packing for Florida, prep and pack for the vendor fair on Saturday. Week 2, I'm in Florida. Week 3, all the last minute stuff for my novella. Read through final edits. Nice. Don't stress stuff out, hon. I know you're on holiday, but there is some downtime. Would you be able to do some of the read through maybe on holiday? I know maybe not so much the edits, but maybe the read through. Week 4 is format the novella, create sneak peeks on social media and on the 25th. Update. Love that. All right, guys. The commitment. This is the statement here. I will make myself a priority. Sorry, I'm going to get this right. I will make myself a priority and follow through and protect the time I need to make progress on the projects that matter to me. We want to have a great day. We want to have a great month. And we can only do that if we're doing the things that matter to us and being true to our values. So for this one, I want you to, it is actually on the first page of your template. Let's go all the way back up here. And it's there on your first page. So anytime that you need a reminder, it is right there in that lower box. There's also, I always change up the quotes too. I don't usually change up the dragon one because that just brings me joy. But the other one is the scariest moment is always just before you start by Stephen King. And I hope that you push past that and enjoy and take advantage of life and all the positive things that it has to offer and working towards your values. See, Lori, yes, I can do some read-throughs during my downtime at night. There you go. That'll take a little bit off the stress meter. All right, guys, so complete your plan. Ingredients, repeat as needed. So we're going to repeat this for the number of goals that you have. This will take, I say 5 minutes, but it's probably more like 15 minutes. I probably will adjust that. And this defines your projects, tasks, and deadlines. Preparation is complete the plan for all goal areas. Prioritize most important to least. Either work through one goal at a time or one step at a time, depending on which one is easier for you. And complete your plan. Take the time, repeat the steps for each goal until you have a complete plan. Execute the plan, move forward, use this plan to define each week and adjust as needed. You're going to have a pre-planned mini little plan for each time. Each time you sit down and do your weekly planning, you'll be able to look at this and see what you laid out. You'll have notes on the page as to what you accomplished and what you didn't, and then you can adjust and tweak as you need to. Let's see, Lori, the Stephen King quote is perfect for October. I know, right? All right, guys. And finally, enjoy the journey. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this new setup. If you have any thoughts or ideas, let me know. I will probably make some tweaks to the template, but by the time I sort of came up with some things, I literally did not have the time or actually know exactly what changes I would want to make. So that'll be for future me to actually make it even better. But I hope you guys go back and repeat. Take a little physical break. Maybe grab a tall glass of water, maybe a little quick meal, and then sit down with your planning again and work on the other goals that you have so that you have a complete plan going forward for the month of November. And use it well, guys. Use it to achieve everything that you want to achieve and be true to you. And thank you guys for hanging out with me. This was fun. Thank you, Jess. Night. Thank you, guys. I will see you all next weekend. Have an amazing week, and I'll watch for your comments. Bye, guys. Thank you.